Hi, my name is Dan Schmitt, and this is Team Chicago Challenge. We're out here at Oshkosh for the ice racing. This is the WinterFest. This is the annual event, and I'll tell you, the conditions are absolutely perfect. The track is absolutely perfect, and I couldn't ask for anything more. The weather is, well, it's in the 30s, and it looks pretty good, and my WR250 Yamaha is running just right. So let's go check out the heat race action from Oshkosh in Wisconsin.
Now we're going to watch the Pee Wee class, the 50 class, and these automatics. So let's watch the start. Jumping out front, it's like Jonathan Bradley. This is 50cc automatics. This is a training ground. We're moving on the outside with a determination on Max Elliott's face coming down the front straightaway. You watch Taylor Vandermoss on the Yamaha PW50. But leading is Max Elliott as he goes on to pick up the win. Second place with Jonathan Bradley. Third place went to Taylor Vandermoss, and fourth place went to Ben Chase. As we watch the Pee Wees line up for the final events, and this is the largest outdoor race generally at Oshkosh. As we watch the start, jumping out front, it's like Jonathan Bradley. But to these young kids on these 50s, this track looks big. I'll tell you, it looks as big as a mile to them. As we now watch Max Elliott charging. Right behind him is Taylor Vandermoss. Still up front is Jonathan Bradley. Comes into turn 3 and 4. But on the charge is Max Elliott on the other tail jet. Boy, he loves going fast out here. And this track is looking great. And he's got the proper look. Bike's a little lower, maybe that's an advantage, but he's definitely got some steam. But Max Elliott has got this track dialed out here at Oshkosh. Third place is Taylor Vandermoss. Next we're going to look at 250A. It's a pro class. 2 heat races. We watch the start. Jumping out front, it was like Tom Colshaw. Tom's been racing with this organization for many, many years. 61 looks like Mike Grumpentine from Fond du Lac, but making the move, number 44, it's Jerry Westhouse on that Schonberg Honda HDP welding. Jerry Westhouse slips down on the inside and passes 2 bikes. Jerry Westhouse, Mr. Ice. This guy's been racing ice and winning as long as I can remember. I tell you, he always is fast and he's always a threat. And I tell you, just getting his bike together, he's really flat flying. Second place like Mike Grumpentine. And now we're looking at the second heat, 250 class. Jumping out front, it's like Todd Bloom, number 40. Todd Bloom out of Appleton. Right behind him on that 4-stroke Yamaha 400. Now, according to AMA rules, this 400 can run in the 250 class because it's a 4-stroke. That's Scott Dietrich. Scott Dietrich, who we've seen at the Enduro, and he was flat flying at the Enduro. It's the first time I've seen him flat track this 400 Yamaha. Going in to pick up the win was Todd Bloom. Scott Dietrich was second. As we watch the start of the 258 class. Jumping out front. Wow, what a scramble. Todd Bloom's up there. 60's up there. It's Mike Grumpentine. You watch Jerry Westhouse, number 44, trying to make his way through. Gets around Todd Bloom. He heads after Mike Grumpentine from Fond du Lac. Jerry runs the inside. Going to stick to his line. Jerry Westhouse gets in the lead. Mike's right back. Two Hondas going at it. Jerry stays on the inside and picks up the lead. And earlier, I had a chance to ask Jerry Westhouse, what did he think of this racetrack?
I love this. I mean, we have a perfect day. This is a perfect day for ice racing. I mean, it's the ice is nice and hard. It's smooth. They've done a nice job setting the track up. It looks like we're having a good day at this point.
Okay, so what kind of bike you riding on? Do you have any sponsors?
Yeah, I have two sponsors. I have a Honda, a CR250 Honda. I'm sponsored by Schaumburg Honda in Schaumburg, Illinois, and HTP America, which is a welding supply house. They provide MIG welders and TIG welders and consumables.
So how do you think you're going to do?
I'm going to do my best, Dan.
Come back to the racing action. Jerry Westhouse still up front. Mike Grumpentine is second. Todd Bloom running third. Todd Bloom on the Yamaha is trying to move up to second. Jerry Westhouse on the Schaumburg Honda. HTP America Welding is leading. Mike Grumpentine second. Todd Bloom third. Tom Koshaw fourth. And in the end, picking up the win from Lake Zurich on the Schaumburg Honda is Jerry Westhouse. Next class up, the Big Twins to start. I tell you, they got more twin motorcycles out here. What a great show. 38 making the move. That's Matt Tucker. Matt Tucker looks like he's on a Yamaha, but making the move on the outside. 24 is Gary Beck. 47 is Andy Fenwick. 94 is Alan Erkman. As you watch Steve Captain on that RD 400 Yamaha, and that's a twin, that's why he's in this class. But up front, Andy Fenwick from Appleton. And those who have been around racing know Andy Fenwick. Gary Beck is running second. But Andy Fenwick, that used to road race the National Endurance Series, this was one of the members of the National Championship, the human race team, riding that Yamaha. Well, it's got to go back almost 10 years now since they were the champions. Dan LaShawn on that Triumph. Got a bad start. He's trying to make up for a bad start. He runs a nice steady race as we hear that Triumph headed down the back straightaway. Going and pick up the win in the heat is Andy Fenwick. It's like Gary Beck is second. Before we get in this race, I had a chance to talk to my friend on his big 750 Triumph.
I'm here with Dan LaShawn from Milwaukee. And Dan, you've been racing that Triumph Twin on the ice for how many years now?
Oh, I started in '77, and the last 5 or so I've been racing the Triumph.
Right. So the twins class, I mean, this is one of their biggest class out here. You got to race against these twin Yamahas.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all the twin Yamahas in the country, but now they're starting to run them with the Armas, so it's going to be popular. But you got a big twins class out here. So how do you compare to these? Because they really have a little bit more horsepower, right?
I think we stack up well because we're a lot lighter. And I think our handling is to our advantage, and we still make good power.
Right.
I tell you, this is one of the biggest spectator ice race events at this Oshkosh WinterFest as we wait for the Open Twins Pro Class. These are the big twins. Making the move. Up front, 47, it's Andy Fenwick. Dan LaShaw on that Triumph is trying that outside line. 38's running second. And that's Matt Tucker. You watch Dan Luschau on that Triumph, moving himself up to 4th place. With these big twins, what a great sound. The track is absolutely perfect. Couldn't ask for anything more for an ice race. See the battle for second, Matt Tucker. In second, Gary Beck third. Dan Luschau's running 4th on the Triumph. Going on to pick up the win, Andy Fenwick. Second place went to Matt Tucker. Third place, Gary Beck, and Dan Luschau was 4th. Next race is 125s. Wow, jumping out front is Mark Thundermark from Fond du Lac. Yeah, 125 Suzuki. Well, this boy's hauling. Second place is 21. It's like Sean Taver from Oshkosh. Got a battle going on. Third place is Chris Dupre. Has he got enough to catch Sean Taver? We'll watch and see. Maybe he'll make it up. Going on to pick up the win was Mark Hundermark in the 125 class out here at Oshkosh. 125A for the Bucks. Jumping out front is Sean Trevor. Sean Trevor, who's leading in the points in this class. But moving by him is number 7. It's Mark Hammermark. 320 is Bob Bradley. As the battle heats up front. Sean Trevor just moved over, moving up front. Number 7. Third place is Chris Dupre. Whoa, Chris. Hold on. Falls down, gets the bike going. And Sean Trevor is leading in the points. We see behind him, making the moves now, trying to catch up. The rider that went down, Chris Dupre. He's using an outside line, and he's running a great race. See if he can move himself back up to 3rd. He makes the move, he makes the pass for 3rd place. But going on to pick up the win was John Huntermark. Next race we're going to look at is Quad 250 Pro Class. This is for the Bucks. Jumping out front is at 82. That's Tom Hylock. Picked up the win in the heat. Negotiates the corner. Second place. It's like Bill Berger. Bill Berger's got the hot hand out here. But Tom Hylock's up front. Kyle Carr's running in 3rd. But picking up the dough at the WinterFest in Oshkosh is Tom Hylock. Second place went to Bill Berger, and 3rd place went to Kyle Carr. Next race, plus 40, as they wait for the start. Whoa! What happened? Jerry Westhouse. Well, that's no way to treat a rider from Illinois. Boy, 2 bikes came down on Jerry and gave him no space. I don't know what kind of Wisconsin teamwork this is to cut him off at the pass. As Jerry fires up that Schomburg Honda. Let's watch the restart. The flash of the light, jumping out front. It was like Todd Darling from Appleton. And he's on a Rotex 400. Check that, 4 strokes, 600 single. Right behind him is Mr. Ice, Jerry Westhouse from Lake Zurich, Illinois. And a booming 4-stroke, 600 against his 250 Honda, Jerry Westhouse. He gives Jerry an inch and he'll take a foot as he moves down on the inside. Jerry Westhouse is now up front. He had Schomburg Honda, HTP America Welding Supply. Got a battle going on for third. That's between Todd Darling and Tom Koshaw. Now, he said he'd finish in the top 3. As we watch some more of the bikes coming through in his plus 40 class is Jerry Westhouse up front as he goes on. Looks like to pick up the win in the plus 40 class. Battling behind him is Todd Darling and Tom Koshaw. And Todd Darling picks up second. Plus 40 as they wait for the start. Jumping out front, Tom Koshaw, Jerry Westhouse right on the outside of him. Making a move on the outside. On that Rotex is Todd Darling. He gets around Jerry Westhouse. Jerry moving on the inside. The man on the Rotex is on the outside as they battle for second. Tom Koshaw is still up front. Jerry Westhouse is on the move. Jerry Westhouse on the Schomburg Honda. HTP Welding, HTP America Welding, Honda motorcycle chasing down this Kawasaki at Tom Koshaw. They go through 1 and 2. Jerry's trying that inside line. Tom shuts him off. Tom Koshaw and the Kawasaki running a great race. Jerry tries the outside line, gets on the gas, come down the front straightaway. Jerry dives down on the inside. Todd Darling is moving up. Tom Koshaw running second is Jerry Westhouse. Lengthens his lead. As you watch Todd Darling trying it outside line to try to get around Tom Koshaw. But Jerry Westhouse from Lake Zurich, Illinois, Mr. Ice, is showing them why people call Jerry Westhouse Mr. Ice. This guy, by far, always one of the fastest guys on ice. As you watch his battle for second shaping up. Tom Koshaw on the inside, trying the outside line is Todd Darling on the Rotex. Makes the move on the outside. They go into 3 and 4. Slip by on the outside. Tom Koshaw stays on the inside. Jerry Westhouse goes on to pick up the win in his plus 40 class and the Bucks. We're going to watch this battle for second. Todd Darling trying it outside line. Tom Koshaw holding him off as they drag race to the end. And Tom Koshaw holds on for second. Now look at the action in 250 quad. It's the B class. Only 2 riders. This is for the beginners. These guys are out here having big fun. Ice racing. On Lake Winnebago. Up front, that's like Aaron Jacoby. Jason Kraft is running second. But Aaron Jacoby is showing the fast way around in the 250 B class 4 quads at this Oshkosh WinterFest. Open A class, 2 heats. Jumping out front, looks like Tom Koshaw. He's running second. Up front, is at 92, Rick Portel. On that Rotex, let this boy go. Battle developing for second. Number 21 is Steve Steele. Tom Koshaw, number 23. 2 heat races to determine the starting position in the final. But stretching the lead and going on to pick up the win in this first heat was Rick Bertel. Second heat, jumping out front, number 40, that's J.R. Schnabel. Grand National Dirt Tracker, battle for second. Number 60 on the move, it's Shannon Reamer. You know what brand is, J.R. Schnabel's on a Yamaha 23X. That's Brad Rosen. Whoa, battle continues, but going on to pick up the win in the second heat. One of the hot experts on the Grand National Circuit, J.R. Schnabel. Open Pro. Jumping out front, number 61. It's Mike Grumpentine on that Honda. He heads down the back chute. It's a race for the dollars. Making move on the inside is number 40. And earlier I had a chance to talk to this rider. Let's meet him now.
Glenn Schnabel from West Bend. Okay, what kind of bike you racing? I'm riding the 250 Yamaha in the open class. So, you got any sponsors? Yeah, I got Jansen Racing, Torque Center, Cousin Subs, Team Powell, Gene Smokey. A lot of people help me out. I got ride helmets. A lot of sponsors, a lot of people help us out. What do you race in the summertime? We race dirt track ovals, normally half miles and miles. So this is gonna be a little different. We got a little smaller track than we normally race on that, and the ice is a little more predictable. You don't have your dry spots, your wet spots. It's all the same, so it's decent unless you hit some snow. The snow gets a little built up, but ice is real predictable, real sticky. You can go pretty fast. It's fun.
Moving on the outside. Looks like Rick Butel on that Rotex. J.R. Schnabel still up front. Got a 2-stroke and 4-stroke battle. 250 against a 600. Open class out here at Oshkosh. And going on to pick up the win was Rick Butel. J.R. Schnabel was second, and third place went to Mike Carpentine. And the last heat race of the day, plus 50. And on the WR250, 4 and 6 prepared, Torco Racing Oil, Torco Racing Fuel. And down on the inside, as I'm checking out this outside line with the Team Chicago helmet cam, I'm going to go down and follow my friend, Al Bloom. And Al's on a new bike. Let's see what he's got to say about this new bike that he's riding on the ice.
Tell me about the new Yamaha you're racing.
I bought it from Larry Pico's. It's a 600. I think he won the Amateur National with it in 93 or 94.
And you're going to ride that 185 also?
No, my wife's going to ride that, put her on the slow bike.
Oh, okay. So what do you think of the track conditions out here?
I think they're excellent. Real hard ice. I think it's going to be a good race.
All right. So how do you think you're going to do?
Probably a little bit behind you.
But Al's running that inside pole. I'm going to check out this outside line and put it all the way on the outside of his track and just stay on the gas and check it out. Well, it seems to be working. Big fun. Feet up in the corners, on the gas. As they go on to pick up the win in the plus 50 class. Al Bloom was second. This is it. Final race. Watch the right. I let Al and Linda Bloom take off ahead of me so I get some helmet cam. Linda's riding the 185 Honda plus 50 class, and I'll tell you, Linda used to be one of the fastest females on ice. Racing everything from this 185 Honda all the way up to 750 Triumph. She's got some great style. That's why I stay behind her. Get a little helmet cam of her riding style before I head off to catch Al. We're looking ahead. Holy smokes. Al Bloom, what are you doing? Al is out there smoking on that 600 Yamaha. Try this outside line. They brush snow out here, so I don't have a good drive through here. Let me try it through turn 1 and 2. I ain't catching them. I better dive down on the inside, see if I can catch Al. Al's really putting the power down on that 600 Yamaha as I slide off in this corner, getting over anxious. It's a halfway point. Oh no, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to catch Al. As I screw up another corner. Music for the show by Engine, Mike Preetz, Intrigue, and Travesty. And all this music recorded at Fireside Studios, Westchester, Illinois. So in the plus 50 class, looks like Al Bloom is going on to pick up the win. I finished second. Linda Bloom was third. And I'll tell you, we had big fun out here at Oshkosh for this WinterFest, and we'll be back next year.
Yes, I have raced nearly every Otter Street Fishing Club sponsored WinterFest all the way through 2021. Contact me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing or on Rumble with Dan Schmitt TV for great racing action. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum in Winnebago, Indiana, just off Indiana 39. That's 4 miles south of North Judson, Indiana. Give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles.